First off, to God be the glory. We give him thanks, we give him praise for an opportunity to come out and compete and play the game we all love. So all praise to him, and really proud of these guys, man. Like the whole group, but these two in particular, simply because, Kobe's, he's starting to come into his own. He's starting to be Kobe Knox, right? And I'm his resolve and the perseverance he's had. He didn't get down on himself. He just kept working, and it's paying dividends now, right at the right time. And then, man, Kasean Pryor, he'll tell you, man, I coach him as hard as anybody. I'm on him every day because I love him, and he has a ton of, it's a scary word, potential, right? And I just want to make sure we do our part to help him, reach that potential. And man, on the night when we needed him, man, he played his butt off. And like, I think everybody will look at the 29 points, right, and they'll say, oh man, that was why he was great. Yes, but defensively throughout that game, man, shoot, we gotta bottle that thing up. We gotta get him some secret stuff.
5 block shots and 5 steals.
Yep.
In the middle of that.
Yep, I think, me personally, 5 block shots, 5 steals, 2 assists, only 1 turnover in 31 minutes, I think that's player of the week type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
18 points in a row.
Did you?
19 in a row.
Wow.
15 of 16 is a free throw.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
And
And
open it up for
yeah.
players' questions.
Kobe, you got off to a great start. Talk a little bit about what you were seeing early and how you were manifesting that look.
We had kind of a slow start, the start that we kind of really didn't want. But so, kind of just trusting our offense and just seeing open areas in the court and trusting our ball movement. So, the guys did a good job of finding me, especially like towards the end of the half, that end of the half shot when JR saw me across the court.
Sure.
So kind of just trusting that, and it was kind of just coming all together in the first half.
For both players, first, that was an old-fashioned gut check, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, that was a big-time game. We had to, persevere at the end and just have our composure and be an elite team. Coach always talks about being an elite team, and we work on executing late-game situations, and obviously we was able to bring it all together today.
Talk about your ability to check in across the board, on a stat sheet. You don't think about stats during a game, but it happens.
Yeah, it happens. Nah, man, at that point, I'm blacking out. I'm doing whatever we need to win. First half, I felt like I was letting us down offensively and defensively. So, I had coach always said, a soul check, you look into yourself deep and understand what we need to do to get it going. So, second half, I went out there and made some adjustments and brought the energy.
Okay, guys, here's your shot. Kobe, you're first.
Yep.
You go down 10, coach takes a timeout. What does he say?
Are we gonna wake up? We at home at the end of the day, so we can't. Being down 10 at home is unacceptable. So he tells us just wake up and trust our defense. Our defense wasn't good at the time, so like Kasean, 5 steals, 5 blocks. He catalyst of that defense in the second half, getting us back going. And I really feel like that really helped us get the lead again. And we outscored them 50-33 in the second half. That's just all defense.
I was going to ask you both about defense as well. There was a stretch, I think it was from the middle of the second half on down to when they scored like their second basket in 11 minutes. They were 1 of 7 from the floor, but they also committed 9 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Either person.
Oh, man, like I said, it started with defense for us, like I said, we made our adjustments after the first half, giving them, way too many easy points. Max Fielder was out there, destroying us on the glass and getting whatever he wanted around the rim. So, like I said, it was all adjustments. It was all, the soul check, like Coach said. We got to look deep to ourselves and see what we need to fix right now to get this thing going and get us a win tonight.
Your rhythm on a free throw is really interesting. Talk a little bit about that. How did you develop,
Well, yeah, I actually got that from one of my former teammates, Abu Kijab at Boise State. He would just take his time and say, man, this is where you get your rest right here. So we're in a game like this. It's up and down. We're running. So you go to that free throw line, you take your time. You get your breaths and ultimately get your rhythm to shoot. And obviously 15 to 16 tonight, I had a good rhythm. So
You're playing catch-up for 36 minutes. but you're ahead at the right time. How important was it to get stops there? At the
Oh man, like I said, we don't win without stops. That was my first thing. Offense comes, after the stops. Obviously I'm getting steals in transition. That's gonna bring our offense. So first it started with team defense, everybody supporting each other, being there for each other, and staying together.
Did you guys think the transition part of your game started more fully maybe the last 10 minutes of the game?
Yeah, just transition offense is just based off stops. Like you can't have a transition offense without a stop, and so we work on that in practice, just getting the rebound and filling our lanes, doing our own job, and just throwing the ball up, sharing the ball up the court, and that creates easy points in transition.
Yeah,
Kobe, my last question, and thank you for your time and congratulations.
Yeah.
You get 28 points off of turnovers. How important was that?
Very important, very important. When you getting turnovers like that, you got just Kasean with 5 steals, and you got Jaden with 3 steals, and and Jaden's fast in transition, so he gets a steal, he's pushing it, looking ahead for other guys. That's just really important, and it's all the other guys' jobs to just do their job, run fast in the lane, and finish in transition. I feel like that's a key point in our win, just the transition points.
Coach, I'll start it. How important was it for Knox to hit that shot right before halftime to cut it to 9?
Man, it was huge because it gave us momentum, right, coming into the second half. But it gave us a great teaching point. We were making the game a little bit. We were making it harder than it needed to be in the first half offensively. We watch a lot of film as a staff and with the guys, and when we could get a big rolling hard to the basket on ball screen action, and we could get a guy, what we call it, shaking up or coming up out of the corner, like the plays were there. We were trying to make the home run play, and so we come into halftime and we said, guys, when you just trust the game plan, like we're pretty good, like. And I think at the half we were 5 of whatever from 3, but 4 of the 5 threes that we made came off of game plan execution. So that shot was huge because it gave us some momentum to start that second half.
Coach, it was a great comment there. Instead of taking the stand-up double, you're trying to take the home run. Is that what it was?
Well, I'll take the stand-up double more times than not because that's consistent. But you got to pick and choose those times where you go for the home run. And at the end of the half right there, you have nothing to lose. We wanted to get the very last shot, which we did, and the guys did a great job of executing. I think Kasean said it. We work on end of the half situations, end of the game situations. We do it every day. A buddy of mine who's an assistant at Kansas State, Uric Malagy, he gave me this great concept they do. Is called 5 to grind, where you'll play the last 5 minutes of a game or last 5 minutes of a half. And when we do it in practice, it's player-led. The coaches, we're referees. They have to talk out, hey, we're running this. They have to know the scenario and understand it. And we're not seasoned in that area just yet. I still have to do that a little bit, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Coach, my last question, and thank you for your time tonight. You talk about complimentary basketball. You forced them into 18 turnovers, but you only turn it over 6 times. That's phenomenal, isn't it?
It's, I say it all the time, it's not good. It's not great. That's elite. That is elite right there. Where your assist to turnover ratio is 3 to 1. Like my math, huh? Pretty good. No, I'm just joking. I'm messing with my wife. But no, when you can take care of the ball and you can get shots at the basket, and when we get shots at the basket, we're pretty good, and we got back to, as I dubbed it was South Florida basketball. At the other night at UAB, we had 3 guys in double figures. Chris had whatever he had, Selton had whatever he had, but the shots weren't as spread out as they were tonight. At UAB, Chris had 18, Selton I think had 14, and then I think Kasean and Kasean had 13. Selton had 13. Kasean, Pryor, and Jaden Reed had 13 combined. And I'm like, guys, we're not sharing the ball. And I want to say we had it wasn't double-figure assists. I think we had 7 assists at UAB the other night. And whenever that's the case, we're not as good as we can be. We're still good. We're just not as good as we can be. But when you can get Kasean Pryor getting 29, and then Youngblood getting 12, and then Knox getting 15, Miguel getting 16, I take it all night. And the great part about our team is this. The next game, it might be somebody else getting 26, right? Like, I say this humbly, it's like pick your poison. Who you gonna stop? Who you gonna take away? All right? But what we've got to continue to do, it's like they got to continue to embrace that and buy into it. It's not the cool thing, guys. All right? It's not the thing that gets you likes on Instagram. It's not the thing that gets you retweets on Twitter. You know, like team basketball, you know, think about it. Guys, the Spurs beat LeBron and D. Wade, and people don't even talk about it.
But you're playing in March, though, doesn't it?
It does get you playing in March, and that's the goal. That is the goal. And so we just got to continue to take it, not even a game at a time, a day at a time. You know, as I told the guys yesterday, guys, I want to get better every day. How do we do that? Making sure we're focused, making sure our awareness is where it needs to be, and not just on the court. Guys, we started class back. Let's make sure, just so you know, I sent out a text today. Jaden Reed and Nick Smith, they were 30 minutes early for study hall. Hey, that's big time, dog. Hey, I told them, I said, the pups are they're no longer puppies anymore, they're big dogs. You know, that's what we got to continue to have, those great habits that lead to success.
Kasean's play across the boards, I mean, like I was saying earlier, you can't find a statistic that he doesn't figure in prominently.
Yeah, no, 100%. I just told Joey asked, like, what is it like coaching him? I said, it's like being in the wilderness and having a Swiss Army knife. You know, it's like you got a guy that he can do so many different things, right? If you got to eat, man, you can open that knife up, clean the fish, cook it. You know, you got to start a fire. So you got something in there to start the fire, right? And as I said to him walking off the court, KP, this is what we have to have from you every night, because when he gives us that energy defensively, we become a different team. Like, we become a totally different team. But I want to make sure I say this, not to take away from his great night. Man, what I love most about this team is Gerald Jones and Daniel Tobolova. They came in and they didn't play a bunch of minutes. Daniel played 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Gerald Jones played 2 minutes and 36 seconds. But guys, those 5 to 6 minutes or whatever they were combined were really important when Kasean got in foul trouble early in the game, and they came in and sustained, you know, and actually Daniel had a block, I think, you know, and so we got to continue to just have guys step up, and whatever the role is, whether it's 2 minutes or 20 minutes, bring value.
This group plays so well off of each other. I mean, you know, like you were saying, you literally can count on somebody every game to
Yeah.
maybe do what Kasean did.
Yeah, that's the beauty. But like, we don't have a selfish group, but you got to understand they're fighting a lot of different elements, guys. You know, I don't know who does it, but it's like every time I look on Instagram after a game, somebody has a mixtape, and I'm not gonna say who, but somebody had a mixtape from our team after the UAB game, and they posted it, and I'm like, man, we lost the game. What you posting a mixtape for? But that's what we're up against, and they're learning what really matters. They're learning what it takes to be a good team every day, not just sometimes, every day. And if they can learn to be a good team along those lines, they're learning to be good men.
Did you feel like their transition game took off in the second half from causing turnovers in the backcourt?
100%. We finished the game out of the last 23 possessions. We got 17 stops out of the last 23 possessions. When you can do that, you can get out and run. And again, you know, you have some teams like I like watching, you know, these teams that, man, they're just really good executing in the half court. Like one guy I have a ton of respect for, and it was like we played him, I think, like 3 of the 4 years I was at Kennesaw is like Greg McDermott. Like offensively, like man, that dude, they just got stuff. You know, like they got a counter for like every play. But they also got dudes. Like, you know what I mean? And we got dudes too, you know, but this conversation will be totally different in a year or two, okay? But when you can, you know, we're not that team yet that we're just going to out-execute you in the half court. Guys, when we can have 28 points off of our 18 turnovers, your point plus, you know, off those turnovers. Now you become different, you know, and that's what we're trying to get these guys to understand. It's like, I know you guys want to catch and shoot threes and dunks, but fellas, let's do it off of our defense. You know, I don't want to have to draw up a play every time. That our tempo would be terrible if I had to do that. And I thought in the second half, our tempo became more how we want to play, how we're used to playing.
Coach, I'm going to steal one more.
Go ahead.
6 days to get ready for Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
You're going after the big dog now down in Tennessee. How do you get ready for them?
We focus on us. You know, I say this humbly, like, because I look at what Coach Hardaway has done, you know, it's not talked about enough. It really isn't. Like, the fact that people don't talk about him like as coach of the year or whatever it is, like nationally, guys, right? They don't talk about it enough. I don't know why. That's not for me to, you know, worry about in a sense. But for us, what it's about is, you know, it's another opportunity for us to get better, right? It's another opportunity for us to test ourselves against an NCAA tournament team. It's another opportunity to prove we're good enough to play in that tournament, that four-letter tournament. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not going to make more out of it because it's Memphis. We're going to go treat them with the same respect we treated everybody else with, and we're going to prepare, and we're going to go up there focused on South Florida. That's what it's going to be about.